Hello everyone and welcome to Daria Draws. Today we're making a still life inspired by artists like Pierre Bonnard and Paul Cézanne. Honestly, Post-Impressionism is one of my favorite time periods in art history, and if you would like to get a little closer to it and maybe create your own painting inspired by this movement, do keep watching the video. For my subject today, I have chosen a bowl of apricots. I think they have great contrast with the dark black plate, and it will be a very post-impressionistic thing to do. As you have probably noticed from the works of that period, brush strokes were in, and of course a lot of vibrant colors. Of course, some works were still kind of gloomy, but the overall movement was definitely moving towards the brighter colors and just bolder strokes in general. I like to start with toning my canvas. It gives a good base, and I have chosen a color that is somewhat contrasting with the apricot, so I'm going in with this light blue. Normally you would have to wait for this tone to dry, so that would be like a next day kind of job. But here I wanted to create a little bit of muddy colors so that they would give me a nice shadowy base, and then next time I will be using more of clean and brighter shades. The point of a post-impressionistic painting is to mostly capture the essence of the object or the person, rather than go into too many details, proportions, and etc. So for my painting, I have chosen bold colors that will definitely highlight the essence of apricots. If black seems a little harsh for you, you can definitely replace it with a dark blue or dark brown. I'm using some kind of mixture between brown and red in this case, just to kind of keep things easy and gentle, and if I make a mistake, kind of easier to fix, because black can be a little intimidating. And basically I'm just painting from life and creating this composition with the apricots, and I want each of them to have a slightly different shade, just so that the forms don't all clump up together, but even though they're all in the same bowl, I still want them to be separate little fruits. Even though it is important to deliver the essence of the subject, it is also important to still stick to the shadows and the lights. That is what is going to make your painting not only very expressive, but also very educated, and I feel like Post-Impressionism really captures that balance really well. And as I always do recommend, just move from certain shadows to midtones to lights. It is the least intimidating and the least stressful way to do things, at least in my opinion. So I am starting slowly to add the lights, and of course some apricots would have a more yellowish shade, some of them would have a more orange or even red. So that is something you would have to actually look at, and in case you're painting, I don't know, flowers or any other still life, just check with the objects that you're painting, which object has what kind of tint. Like, is it more into the green? Is it leaning towards a more pink, or maybe just less vibrant, so that you have this nice balance between the saturation of colors and just the hues in general. So that, again, just like with the way you or have this order of things, you want it to be a bit chaotic. You want the same thing to be with the colors, so that not everything is exactly the same. Now I have done the glazing with a slightly darker apricot color, so you would just add maybe a little bit of brown to your orangey red mixture. And the glazing here is not as gentle as it would be in a realistic painting. It is definitely more visible, and I'm not trying to conceal anything. If anything, I'm trying to highlight the actual texture of the apricots and like how they kind of have little dents and like their imperfections basically. And of course I'm moving on into the black. My black is a little more complicated. It's not just from the tube. I'm adding the black to a little bit of red and a bit of green and blue, so that it's a very complicated mixture, and in person, unfortunately, the camera can't capture everything, but in person it does look a little more deep and rich than if you would use just the plain black from the tube. So I just kind of drawn the plate again. This time I'm making it a lot lighter, a lot even less visible, so it's just a hint that there is that bowl that is surrounding the apricots. And of course, the highlights are also important in this painting, but as you can see, the highlights are not white, they're just either pale yellow or pale orange, so that they go with the whole color scheme of the painting. I feel like the trick with these paintings is to keep them very raw, very impulsive, so that you don't do too much, you don't really start thinking too much, otherwise it can definitely ruin that effortless light feeling. And this would be the last touches that I do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for the future videos. But if you would like to see more content right now, you can click on either of those, and I'll see you in the next one.